Hey guys, welcome back to Paracord Planet. Today we're going to be making a Halloween themed paracord bracelet. I've got some microcord colors here, including glow, black, and reflective neon orange. In addition to that, we're going to be using some 550. I've got an orange and black pattern here, a shackle, a fid might be helpful, and then also some electrical tape, just to hold things in place. Let's dive in. So we'll start off with the 550 cord to be the core of our bracelet. So we're only going to need about 3 feet of this cord, I believe. We'll take that shackle and go ahead and undo that. And then I'm just going to leave it attached so I don't waste any cord here. But I'm just folding over about 3 feet of it. 1.5 feet long once it's folded. Take that end, and then we're just going to make a cow hitch onto our shackle. So put your fold through the middle of the shackle, and then put your shackle through that end loop and cinch it down like that. Then you want to measure your wrist size to get this bracelet the right length. So I'm just going to wrap it around and bring it to where that shackle piece is going to lie. You don't want it to be absolutely tight because we're going to be wrapping cord around, but we don't have to leave that extra inch like we do on a normal paracord bracelet because we're just using microcord. So I'm going to back it off, maybe enough to fit one finger underneath. So here the bracelet is tight. I'm just going to back it off maybe 1/2 inch or so and mark that spot with your fingers. Then we're going to fold that over on itself. Facing up, we want our cow hitch to look like this. So this will be the top side of our bracelet. And then with this other loop, we're just going to fold it back right where we made our mark. So we have 2 side-by-side loops. And that's what our pin is going to be going through once we're done. Go ahead and leave a couple inches of slack there. I'm going to leave about 2, so I'm going to cut it off about right here. So at this point, I'm going to use a binder clip to just clamp that fold down just to hold it in place. You could also use the electrical tape, but since this part's going to be coming off, we want something a little less permanent. And then we're going to be wrapping the microcord around these 4 cords. So to taper that off a little bit, I'm going to pull back the sheath cords and clip the inner strands. You can melt those ends if it bothers you, but we're going to be wrapping over them like I said, so it's not necessary. So once you've got those inner strands clipped, take a little bit of electrical tape and wrap it around the ends. So you want those 2 ends stacked on top of our bracelet strands. If you don't want to use tape, it's not necessary, but it does hold things in place nice while you're weaving. Now you can take this off and it's not going to go anyplace. Make sure your 2 loops are even, and then we'll go on to our microcord. So I'm using 3 different colors. You could do this with 1, 2, or any number. So when deciding how much cord you'll need, with my 3-color setup, so to get 6 inches of wrap, I'm going to need 4 feet of each of these cords to equal our total of 6 inches. So 1, 2, 3. So that was 4 feet. I'm going to do 1 extra foot for securing the ends. Alright, so now to wrap our bracelet. The setup is a little bit difficult because we're doing such a long wrap portion. So what we're going to do is start a couple inches from your shackle end. So take a couple inches of the cord, fold it over, and then clamp it right near your shackle. We're going to then bring the cord down to the other end, where we're going to start our wrapping. And once we finish our wrap, these cords are going to hide the ends. Once you've gotten your micro cord the same length as your 550, or the same tension I should say, we're going to begin weaving about a ½ inch from the end. So just leave a small amount of loop there for our shackle. And then start wrapping this around, being careful not to twist the cords around each other so we get our nice stripes back on itself. So we're going to go over the top of the micro and the 550. The first one you might have to do not super tight, but then after you kind of anchor it down, you can tighten that up a bit. So we're going to do some tight twists here. Make sure you don't leave any gaps like that. You want to push them all together so you have a uniform bracelet when you're done. We're going to speed this up and we'll catch you near the end. All right, so we are approaching the other end. I got kind of twisted up here, so I'm going to take my clamp off. If you need to take the clamp off while you're wrapping it, that definitely works, and you can kind of, just as long as you left enough cord to be folded back when we get to that portion. So while I'm doing that, I'm actually going to put the clamp on here so that we don't lose our progress. That did do it. Just kind of twisted the end there. All right, so I've got a little over an inch left to wrap. So now I'm going to fold my cord over just past where I want the end of my wrap to be. So I want it overlapping my knot by a little bit. You can either clamp that down or just hold it with your finger. But as we continue to wrap, we now want to wrap around those extra cords as well. Once you get a couple wraps on there, you'll see that they're just sticking out of the middle of your wrap like that. So go ahead and finish it off and leave just enough room on these loops to fit the ends of our cord through. All right, so now we've wrapped it to the very end and we've just got a little bit of a loop sticking out there. I probably should have left a bigger loop, but this is where the FID comes in. We will just feed those 3 cords through one by one through all 3 loops like that. All right, so once you pull those cords all tight, you can really let go and it's not going to come undone. And now we're going to take those 3 cords that are sticking out of our weave, and pulling on those is going to tighten that end loop down just a little bit. There we go. And now we're just going to clip all of our ends as close as we can and maybe just singe them a little bit so that they're not going to pull through our knots. There we go, our bracelet is complete. So to wear it, just line up your ends and put that shackle post through the holes to screw into that other side. Now you have a reflective glow-in-the-dark Halloween bracelet. And for once, I made a bracelet that actually fits me. That's something to be excited about. We'll put a link in the description for all the supplies that we used to make this bracelet. We put together kind of a shopping list for you. We hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, leave us a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Doing quick math in my head. Or not so quick math. Don't look at it now, the cameraman says. These are now standard issue for U.S. highway construction crews.